quick, what do Chestnut, Delphox, and Greninja all have in common? Well, sure, they're all Kalos starters who received new, powerful Megas, but you may also be surprised to hear that these are the worst 3 Mega Evolutions to use in Pokemon Legends ZA. And today we're gonna rank every Mega Evolution based on its in-game performance to find the strongest one. Now, sure, the Kalos starter Megas are very strong, but there's more to being good for a playthrough than stats alone. Availability refers to how and when you get the Pokemon, and this is one of the biggest factors for in-game playthrough ranking. And this is why the Kalos starters rank so low. The first and most obvious issue is that these 3 are locked behind a paywall. To use these Mega Pokemon, you have to pay additional money, but it's not like you actually need them to beat the game. Mega Pokemon and even Mega starters are super common, so the need to spend extra money doesn't really provide any additional value. But worse is that the stones are locked behind online ranked battles. And on day 1 of the game's launch, there was only even 1 stone available. So to get a stone, you have to invest time into something that is entirely outside of your actual playthrough. So it's time you could just spend making real progress through your run. And then the other 2 aren't even available at launch. So having to wait months just to use Delphox and Chestnut makes them very bad. Now, Steelix and Scizor are 2 other Mega Evolutions that were completely shafted by availability. To begin, if you want either of these 2 Pokemon, you have to have a friend to trade with. And this is the last video we're running our Legends ZA giveaway on, so if you do still want to join that, just subscribe, watch to the end, and comment what you thought of our list. Now, having to trade to get a Pokemon is not impossible, as there's tons of online resources you could do to even just find someone that's willing to trade with you. Scizor and Steelix Mega Stones also have the earliest availability in rank F. And yeah, catching Scyther at E rank and Onix at D rank isn't terrible either. But the item that these Pokemon need to evolve with, the Metal Coat, isn't available until the player reaches A rank. And so not being available until the very end of the game kills any potential that these amazing Megas could have had. Now, moving on to 58 of 63 total, we're also tiering these Pokemon, and Malamar is the last F-tier Pokemon, which is just once again a Pokemon completely screwed by availability. So this Pokemon is a mid-game catch coming in the 30s with no later, like additionally high-leveled catch. And the issue with that is that Malamar's Megastone is locked until A rank. And it's just really sad that once again, you have what is potentially a great Pokemon just completely shafted by Game Freak placing it at the end. Now, moving into E rank, which I know is not always a common tier of listing, we're starting things off with Venusaur at 57. So Venusaur is once again another great Pokemon with solid stats and good moves. It's making E rank because it's not quite as bad as our previous Pokemon, but its Megastone doesn't come until B rank. For some reason, the other 3 Mega Kanto Stones, they're available like super early. And because Venusaur is a rogue battle, you don't get it until the end of the game. Worse though is that the Kanto starters come at level 5 fairly deep into the game. So not only are they late, but you then also have to have this huge investment cost of actually carrying Venusaur and grinding it up. And sure, you might say, well, that's not that hard. I can just get a bunch of Mega Stones and sell candies. But this is always a sort of failed argument people try to make. It's like, well, if I just grind the Pokemon, it can be better. And it's like, yes, but you could say that argument for any Pokemon. Like you could also just put those candies into a Pokemon that's really good and then just make it even better. Now moving on, Pyroar suffers basically the exact same fate as Malamar. It is also an A rank stone, but the one thing that makes it slightly better is you can actually catch a high level Pyroar to use for the very end of the game. So still horrible availability, but lower investment. Now at 55, we finally have a Pokemon that I just feel like is objectively bad. So in normal Pokemon, Mega Sableye best thing is having Magic Bounce plus really good status. You can't use status moves against Rogue Mega battles, which is like over half of the major fights. And Sableye doesn't get an ability, which means it's just a Ghost Dark Mega with 485 base stats. Not counting for availability, this is probably the worst thing in the game, but because it's available in the first round of Megas, you can at least use it and I guess get some value at the very start. Then at 54, Autono is very similar. Performance-wise, this thing is just bad. It's got 80 in special attack, and sure, it's bulky, but like there are just so many other better Megas. Now, another low-ranking fairy is Altaria. Altaria's stone is on the later side, coming at C rank, but its big issue is that you have to grind it up from an early Swablu, while Altaria itself also isn't that good until you get its Mega. There's just a really high investment cost to get this to its Mega, and then the payoff is really not that great. You can also wait until rank be to get one in the same wild zone as a level 62 Salamence, but this thing comes at like 46. So it just doesn't provide much value. The same can be said for Clefable. This thing has a B rank stone. You can pick it up at B rank at level 60, which is at least usable. Now, I've been seeing people point out that Mega Clefable has like the same stats as Togekiss. Obviously really bad. And at this point in the game, you just have access to way better megas. Now, our last E tier Pokemon is Drampa. Drampa's Stone is available at F rank, and its earliest availability is in Wild Zone 19. That is the last Wild Zone before you beat the game. Once again screwed by availability, which is really annoying because Mega Drampa has amazing stats. It looks super cool. Once again screwed by the fact that it's just not there to contribute to your playthrough. Now, with the release of Legends ZA, our content approach has been a little bit different. Actually, kind of getting back to the roots of this channel. So we've basically just been grinding the last 2 weeks, and truth be told, I am pretty tired. Another small confession comes with the fact that I am a bit of a sleep princess. I am like at 8+ hours always, white noise, eye mask, earplugs. And after years of using those cheap flat eye masks that let light in from both the top and bottom cracks, our sponsor Manta Sleep has changed the game for me. Okay, check this out. I have blaring lights here, behind me. I can't see anything. It is pitch black. This thing is, of course, adjustable. Nothing touches your eyeballs, and it even reduces the hit rate of enemy Dream Eaters. I think I legally have to mention that that last part is not true, but this thing is amazing for general sleep plus traveling, okay? Sleeping on a plane, even sometimes hotels suck, or even just like napping through the day. Now you can click the top link below and use code SmithPlays to get 10% off. If you're serious about your sleep or you just want to achieve mega evolution through power napping, this mask is the ultimate. And again, you can check out Manta Sleep in the top link below. Our first Pokemon in D tier is Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan has the earliest availability stone and is once again a B rank catch. Very similar detriments to Drampa, but this thing at least isn't straight outclassed by other dragons. I guess a pure normal type without its super OP ability is fine. At 49, we then have Glalie, which is just a factually pretty bad mega. Glalie goes from having 80 in every stat to 120 in both its attacks and then 100 in speed. Mono Ice is just so bad. The mixed attacker on this thing is so bad. But then next we have Gallade and Gardevoir. So these guys are a little unique in that they're actually quite good and their availability isn't horrible. Both have C rank stones, kind of basically in the middle of like your mega section of the game. Now, Gallade doesn't have a horrible early game grind because you can instantly evolve Kirlia with the Dawnstone, and it will carry itself to C rank and then be pretty good, but that's a fairly high investment cost. Gardevoir is the more split because you have to raise it as a Kirlia up to 30. And then there's this weird thing where if you pre-ordered the game, you got a Gardevoir Mega Stone. If we count that, that actually makes it much better, but if you don't count that, Gardevoir is much worse than Gallade, and so we just decided to average those two and put it next to Gallade. Now, next up we have Mega Starmie, which is a very frustrating Pokemon. Starmie is a really good early game catch, and it can hold its own through most of the game, but because it's a B rank Mega Stone, it starts falling off as you get there. The actual Mega is also pretty good, but it's just so late. And actually the next two Pokemon are its companion Rogue Megas. Dragonite is down here mainly because of its B rank stone. There is an early level like 29 Dratini you can catch that then actually has a good early mid game, but you then have to carry it to 55 and then get to B rank just to get the amazing Mega Dragonite. It's very good once you get there, but it's got a huge grind and is outclassed by two other dragons. Even Tyranitar though, which is the other Rogue Mega of B, is slightly better just because you can get a wild Larvitar in zone 15 at like 40 to 43. So it's just a little bit less of a grind. Then at 43, we have Phalanx. So this guy is a C rank catch with a D rank stone and generally good stats, but I just can't help but feel like this thing comes a little bit too late for how good it is. There are fighting types better than this that you get at F rank. Sick mega design though. Now Scolipede at 42 has very similar vibes. You've got a C rank stone on a D rank catch. You can actually catch this quite earlier as a Alpha Whirlipede, which is really no investment cost because it will carry itself to that point. Mega Scolipede also has really good stats. So it's a good mon, just kind of weighed down by later availability. Like again, for this video, we're just ranking mega performance. So anything before you get a mega can't be a benefit, but it can be a detriment. At 41, we have Dragalge. You've got got this as an E rank catch at a good level, like 48 to 49, but it is sadly a B rank stone. The B rank really hurts it, but Dragalge at least has a cool niche in being a poison dragon type, and that plus no investment cost makes it not bad. Now at 40, you have Lopunny with an F rank stone and even earlier availability. Baneri comes at the start of the game, and friendship evolutions cost like 3 or 4 coffees, so it's very easy to get an early Lopunny. So it's really good in the sense that it's an easy pickup in early Mega, but we've noticed Lopunny struggles so much in this game because it doesn't have its ability Scrappy. One of Mega Lopunny's biggest niches was being able to like stomp ghost types, and it just can't do that. Next up, we've got Frostlass with a C rank Mega Stone and an E rank catch of Snorunt at level 34. This thing's got a pretty neat stat profile in that it's fast enough to actually feel fast, but it's also very frail. You can also evolve it right away, but its catch is a little low. But this thing's biggest benefit is that it just pumps out really good damage of 2 very good offensive types. At 38, we have Scrafty with an E rank pickup and a B rank stone. Truthfully, if this thing came earlier, it would be incredible. This thing is so bulky, and we found bulk to be preferable to speed, but getting a B rank is just not enough fights left for how good it is to really majorly contribute. At 37, we have Beedrill with an E rank stone. I think this guy would really have benefited from being an F rank stone, getting it super early. Beedrill has great damage output, great speed, but it is just once again way too frail for what the meta of this game wants. Next up, we have Aerodactyl, who was an F rank stone and basically F rank pickup. Now, Aerodactyl's biggest issue is that it just comes at level 20 when you get access to alphas that are like level 40. At a profile, Aerodactyl looks really good with that high attack and a wide range of coverage moves, but my issue that I found is Aerodactyl doesn't have good enough straight damage. Like, it wants really strong rock and flying moves early to just one-shot stuff, but it doesn't have those, and it can't quite reach that threshold. It's then so frail that it just often gets killed. I love Aerodactyl, which I've been really disappointed to see its performance. I know a lot of people have said this thing is good, but I think if you just factor in that investment cost to get it to a point of good, it ends up being quite mid. I should also remind people that like Pokemon have different natures and IVs, which give them different growths, and this will drastically affect your personal experience with a Pokemon. You might get one that is very above or below average, and that can probably affect a ranking up to like +5 or -5 points. So just a reminder to like mentally give some wiggle room on these Pokemon from your experience. Now, finally, moving into the C tier, we have Pokemon that are flawed despite having quite good qualities. The first is Abomasnow. You can catch this as an E rank alpha, and it's really strong the moment you get it, and from that point, it just gets worse and worse and worse. It's really frail and only good when you catch it because it has a level advantage. And it might be weird to say that Metagross has a similar overall level of contribution. Now, this thing is a B rank catch, but it's at the very end of B rank, so you've basically only got it for the end of the game. But you catch Metang at a really high level, and it is a pseudo legendary, so it contributes a lot just in a very small portion of the game. Another flawed steel type is Skarmory, which has a C rank stone and is a C rank catch. This thing will come about on par with your team. Flying Steel is an amazing type. Its Mega also has amazing stats, and the only downside is just that it's kind of late. Aggron is yet another decent steel type where it's really bulky, it's pure steel, which is also awesome and great, especially for rogue mega fights. Now, Barbracle may be placing 31, but it gets a #1 in mimicking Frieza stance. This thing has a decent level alpha, tanks hits, devastating damage, and Electros has pretty similar vibes. F rank catch, D rank stone. You got Tynamo in Wild Zone 10 at level 31 to 32 at the start of F rank. It then evolves at 39 and then instantly again with Thunderstone. Decentish bulk, strong mixed attacker, crazy list of coverage moves. It unfortunately doesn't have Levitate, but overall, I think this is starting to show like how insane megas are. Like, this thing is on paper amazing and only 30. You've again got similar vibes with Pinsir. D rank stone, Wild Zone, E rank pickup at a good level, 155 attack plus 120 defense. This thing is really good. Only major downside I would say is just middling type matchups. Bug flying isn't that great for the end game. You also miss it for the Ivor fight, but still just generally strong. You've also got Chandelure, which is part of this growing group. D rank stone, comes under leveled, but is very strong. Solid defenses, 175 special attack. Fire Ghost is also incredible. It's just a great Pokemon that requires a bit to get going. The same can be said for Ampharos. D-rank stone with either a super early game grind, a fluffy pickup, or a later alpha. Dragon Electric is pretty solid, but it's really that special attack paired with it that makes this thing great. And okay, that brings us to our B tier. Like seriously, that's how crazy megas are. Mawile is a D-rank stone at an F rank catch. This thing actually had its attack buff to make up for it losing its ability. Comes at 28 F rank or C rank 56, and it's just got good attack, great moves, and a really strong typing. Now Gengar sees an F rank stone and is instantly available with trade or caught at the mid-level D rank. One of the strongest megas with 170 special attack and insane coverage, but unless you're trading, it's coming at a kind of subpar level and is actually surprisingly frail. Now Lucario at 24 should show you just how weird X and Y were. This thing is an F rank stone with F rank access, as Riolu comes really early and just needs friendship. It does nothing wrong, but there's just better Pokemon. It's 140 in each attack stat, just feels a little wasted. It's very representative of the B tier, which is just like exceptional Pokemon that have one or two things holding it back. Blastoise takes that as well, having an F rank stone, F rank access, but a super low level to catch. Its bulk and attack are great for this game's format, but as a pure water type that has a grind, it is outclassed. Now at 22, you've got Garchomp, both an F rank stone and F rank pickup. This thing just suffers from startup cost. Gible is a 5% spawn in Wild Zone 8. It is a very hard Pokemon to catch, and coming at level 24 but not getting its final evolution until 48 means Garchomp takes a while. That said, Garchomp holds a very special niche in being the earliest available Mega Pseudo. It's a high effort, high value Pokemon. And so funnily, then at 21, we have Pidgeot, which is the complete opposite of Garchomp. It is so free. You catch it like level 37, 38. It's an F rank pickup, F rank catch. So you just get a high leveled mega out the gates. And the only thing holding it back is that as a mega, it's just kind of mid. Now, this finally takes us into the A tier. These are megas that offer very high value even within the tier of megas and have very few downsides. Manectric has an F rank stone and is an F rank alpha catch. Good stats, but is just a one-trick pony. And you could say the exact same thing about Sharpedo. Now at 18, we have a bit of a shocker here, and this is Medicham. So because it lost its pure power ability, Mega Medicham had its attack raised from 100 up to 140. And it has really good access to moves. Like you've got Zen Headbutt, Brick Break, all three elemental punches, Bullet Punch, Dynamic Punch, which basically means that if it's not checked by an opponent with a super effective move, it crushes them. And although it has an F rank stone, its only downside is that you catch it as a level 20 Metatite, and it is a bit of a sunk cost to just carry it to Medicham at level 37. At 17, you have Slowbro, F rank stone, E rank pickup at level 42, and it just starts good and yeah. Now, surprisingly, at 16, we have Banette. This is an E rank stone, but with an E rank alpha. You get this thing at level 52, which comparatively is like 10 levels higher than Gengar. And man, is Banette strong. 165 attack. It's got Will-O-Wisp to burn, which you can then pair with Phantom Force. It's got Swords Dance. And at 15, I'm happy to say we have Alakazam. One of the highest special attacks in the game, but available as soon as you get F rank if you can trade. It's broken, but outside of the trade, it's really just held back by being frail. This thing just cannot take hits, and so while that's fine in regular trainer battles, it tends to be a pretty big issue against rogue megas. At 14, you have Hawlucha, super OP early game catch that will carry itself to its E rank stone. It's got no drawbacks on a upper good mega, which is exactly how Camerupt feels. This thing has an F rank stone on an F rank alpha pickup at level 40. That plus really good offense paired with Lava Plume and Earthquake. One of the most shocking performers in the game. I never thought that Camerupt would be good, and we were just blown away by this thing's performance. Now, a Pokemon whose performance won't surprise anyone is Salamence. Salamence ranks itself above the other pseudos on being the best late game pickup. Caught as soon as you reach B rank as an alpha at level 62, not only does Mega Salamence outstat everything, it also just out-levels everything. And so while this has a bad availability, it gets up here by having such a unique niche. Instead of having good long-term contribution, it is here for a very short period to be amazing. And with a hard endgame, that is a very powerful role. But not quite enough to make it into our S tier of exceptional megas, which starts with Charizard X and Y at spots 11 and 10. These two Pokemon have the same early investment cost as Blastoise with the same early F rank stone. The reason that Charizard is so much better is because when you use this thing, you get 2 Pokemon for the price of 1. That's because you get access to both of its Mega Stones. So while one Charizard would probably rank somewhere in the 20s, you get 1 Pokemon that fills almost the role of 2. You could choose Charizard X, which turns into a Fire Dragon type for a better defensive profile. And if you don't have a bad matchup, you can go with Y, which has 160 special attack. Being able to fly makes rogue fights much better. And unlike an Alakazam or Gengar, Charizard Y specifically has really good bulk for having 160 special attack. Now at number 9, we have Absol. Absol makes S tier simply because of its perfect availability. It may not be the strongest, but it is strong while at the same time coming at a great level and requiring you do absolutely nothing. Feraligatr then makes our S tier at number 8 for basically being a starter. Considering most people run a starter, it is effectively as free as Absol, but then as a water dragon type, it's got slightly better coverage, slightly better damage, and is just generally overall slightly better. Now, Houndoom makes S tier for having an F rank stone with a V rank alpha pickup and also, of course, being amazing. You need to catch it so it's not quite handed to you, but that small cost is then off-weighted by it just being so stupidly powerful. Now, at number 6, we've got the man that if you know no one else has got you, boys, blah, has got you. Heracross is once again a Pokemon that is handed to you for free and you get its stone at rank F. Good bulk, good moves, and 180 attack. For normal trainer fights, this just kills stuff. Like just nothing can stand up to this thing. And then it's got the bulk to actually do a really good job against rogue fights as well. Great learn set, great coverage. Mega Heracross basically checks all boxes. Now at 5, I'm so happy to see we have Mega Meganium. Obviously being a starter is great, but what propels Meganium is the fact that it gets Giga Drain paired with this incredible special attack and defenses. It is arguably the best rogue mega fighter in the game because it just doesn't die. So it's like, not only is this thing a starter, and so it's basically got perfect availability plus an incredibly cool niche. Now at number 4, we have the only non-F rank pickup in the top 10, and that is Excadrill. 110 HP, 165 attack, 100 defense, fast, insane coverage. Basically, as long as this thing watches out for water and fire moves, it wins. Pound for pound, probably the best mega in the top 10, but just again held back by that E rank stone and D rank pickup. Now, at number 3, we have Emboar. Part of the reason that Emboar ranks above the other 2 starters is that it is the best Pokemon of its type. It is better than Mega Houndoom and it is more free than Mega Houndoom. Insane attack, insane bulk, it's a starter, firefighting. And I know I said earlier that I thought Feraligatr was the best mega, but now that we've really done our research, I'm realizing that yeah, maybe it is in a vacuum, but that's such a hard claim to make in the game when it is outclassed by another water type. Because ladies and gentlemen, these next 2 Pokemon are so good, they need their own extended tier into SS. And at number 2, we have Mega Gyarados. Of course. I'm just happy it's not number 1, honestly. Okay, Gyarados has an F rank stone, and Magikarp can be picked up at the start of the game at level 30 as an alpha. Unlike most alphas, Magikarp also has a stupid easy catch rate, so it is basically free. You just evolve it, wreck everything, because oh yeah, that's right, Gyarados comes with Hydro Pump. Gyarados comes with Waterfall. Gyarados comes with Crunch. Bro, all these moves on Feraligatr are like level 30, level 40 for Liquidation. Nah, Gyarados just comes with it. It also learns Ice Fang, but then it also gets Bounce and Hurricane. Gyarados has better HP. Its special defense is insane and also higher than Feraligator's good defense. Its lower defense is still insane. It's faster than Feraligatr and only has 5 less attack. And if all that wasn't enough, it also floats, which just makes it even better for rogue fights. And so even without a great ability or anything like that, Gyarados and Mega Gyarados just continue to be one of the greatest playthrough Pokemon. And yet somehow, I don't even understand this. Okay, our number 1 spot. This thing is an F rank stone, a super easy Y rank alpha catch at level 25, which, like Magikarp, also then instantly leads to its final evolution. However, Victory Bell has a few special niches that somehow make it even better than Gyarados. The first thing is that this guy comes with Toxic, which people are learning is one of, if not the most overpowered things in the game. So that means Mega Victory Bell can kill any normal trainer Pokemon that isn't a poison type. And Mega Victory Bell also has this weird thing going on where it's actually good as a mixed attacker. It gets super early Power Whip, which 125 attack plus this 120 power move is broken. It also has Poison Jab, but then it has 135 special attack and learns Giga Drain, which then, just like Meganium, makes it one of the best rogue Mega Fighters because it just never dies. So Gyarados might be a better generalist, but Victory Bell specializes in the 2 major types of fights in the game. We were so surprised to see how good this thing is, and I personally was so pleased to see this ranking not go to Gyarados. Mega Victory Bell is the best Mega in Pokemon Legends ZA.